Welcome back to the LHS podcast. And if we're back, that means Dr. Pepper's here.
Dr. Pop Pop's Peppers here.
Dr.
Hotter than
Pop-Pop's
a
Pepper.
hotter than a pepper sprout.
That's right. Dr. Pop-Up drinking Dr. Pepper Zero, I believe, is the word.
Yes, it is.
There it
It's
is.
my new drug of choice.
There you go. Very well. As he slurps wearing his swag. What is this? I don't think you're wearing a late to chess shirt there. I didn't know you did podcasts without something like that.
You know, it's in the washer. Every time we go to do one of these things, I wear it. I'm thinking I have it hanging up on this coat rack thing, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna wear it when we do the podcast, and then I just wear it, and then of course I spill something on it, and then I've got to wash it.
This is the problems with giving you clothes that are white.
Yeah, I know. Why do you think I wear gray and black all the time? And not only is it thinning, but it hides all the stains.
Oh, I thought it reflected your soul.
Yes, the darkness of it. The darkness of it. That's why I think I'm all zipped up.
He's high and tight. There it is. And we're not talking haircut.
No, no, I need a
Doctor.
haircut.
Yeah, so do I. I call them Einsteins when I start getting the curls by my ears and I start looking
Yeah,
like, yeah,
my wife calls them wings.
wings. Maybe you should be drinking Red Bull instead of Dr. Pepper.
Maybe, maybe.
Maybe. Doctor, we
Yes,
we had a topic that we talked about earlier and we've never circled back to it and we thought we'd get back to it today.
I'm very excited about this.
I know, and as usual, I know to the surprise of none of our listeners, we have a different way of thinking about this one. So this could be entertaining. We'll go with entertaining.
Yes,
Doctor,
yes.
chess etiquette.
Where
Uh,
is it? That's
I
my question.
well, yeah, it has kind of left the building a few times, but yeah. So sometimes we've gotten a couple people right in saying they're going to their first tournament, which is awesome. And one of the things that they're not worried about is playing the game. They're more worried about the etiquette, the way the tournament functions, the way you interact with your pieces. Do you shake hands with your opponent? Do you fist bump? Do you punch him in the face? Somewhere in that range. Where let's pretend we're talking to people who have either not yet competed over the board live at a tournament or perhaps haven't done it in a long time or are thinking about doing it. So let's go with, the basics, the blocking and tackling. You go to a chess tournament.
Hmm.
What do you do?
Sign in.
Sign in. Exactly. First part.
First part, sign in, find out when things are happening,
Pay
and
your
then
cash if you haven't already.
that's right.
Sign in ahead of time would be a great thing.
That's right. You can go to the USCF website, and there's a
Hmm.
couple other websites
Yep.
that you can go and sign up for these different tournaments ahead of time. Um, you want to make sure that you show up for the tournament, unlike myself,
Hmm. You
who
backed
has
out,
missed,
but then I
who's
guilted you
missed.
in.
Well, there was a couple others I missed out on because of other reasons, but it's good it's good for the tournament director to know, um, at least potentially who's coming, and so that's good.
And it's one less thing for you to worry about.
Right. It's one less thing for me to worry about. You come in and kind of get settled in. You might see if um, what's the word?
The score sheet.
Who
Oh,
are
the
playing
the matchups, they're not out yet,
match. Yeah.
usually.
The matchups that sometimes they might be, but the director gives you a whole bunch of directions. Not much on etiquette though, that I can recall.
But there could be different rooms. It doesn't all have to be in one room. And,
No, that's
if
true.
and you could find out where the Skittles room is. What's a Skittles room, just in case?
Skills room is where you kind of play these mini games,
Talk about the
right?
game, make
Talk about the
noise,
game.
whatever.
Yeah, you can talk. That's the other thing. It's that in the main room or main rooms, depending on how many people are playing, silence or being very quiet is important. And so there's a Skittles room that you can go and you can, play blitz games, try out different types of openings or whatever, talk about your previous game or whatever, but at a normal voiced
Yeah.
level.
It's very informal, I guess would be the
Yeah.
best way to put it.
Yeah. Very informal, very informal. Very, it's nice. It's good too.
It is. It is. For sure. Okay, so we signed up for a tournament. We arrived hopefully early would be great. Let's not wait till the end, shall we? I can't imagine being a TD and tournament director, and somebody coming in 15 minutes late after the thing's supposed to start and saying I'm going to join. It kind of messes everything up for
I know
everybody.
that's right. Though I know that's not happened to me, but I know that it's happened to a couple other tournaments because players were stuck in traffic. And I think it is up to the tournament director, but the player was, I think he has excellent chess etiquette. He said, just go ahead and start my clock because he was playing
Yes, that is an
white
option.
anyways. He said, go ahead and start my clock. I'll be there in 10 minutes. I mean, these are, I'm not sure if they were 45 or 60, 30 games. I can't remember, but long games. And sure enough, within 10 minutes, he got there and that's fair.
Yeah,
It's fair.
but if you haven't paid, that's where it gets to be a big hassle because they don't know you're coming.
Right.
You know,
True.
so
If you
there's that.
don't call, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So chess tournament's about to begin. They usually post the matchups at some point before scheduled time.
Hmm.
What do you
Right.
do? How does that work, Doctor?
For me, poorly. Um,
There's that.
I wish there was a way to. Well, okay, so the name is on there, whether they're rated, unrated, and the number of the board.
Yep.
There's, let's say, 14 boards. You're playing on number 12. Against
Yep. With
whoever.
what color? Yeah.
With what color, right? And so you see that, and you go to the that table, that board, um, and usually, it's just if it's small enough. I haven't been to a big tournament, so
There's one in Las Vegas. I don't know if you've heard about it.
I've heard about it. It sounds interesting, but I feel like if I go to Las Vegas, I won't get to the board. So,
I'll be there.
um,
I'll escort you. Not
okay.
in the Las Vegas escort kind of way, but you know what I
Okay.
mean.
Thank you. I appreciate it. My wife would appreciate that.
Hmm.
So we get to the table and you get to your board, and usually that's if you haven't met your opponent yet, that's where you meet them. You might shake their hand then, or just sit down and sometimes you have chit chat. Sometimes people don't like chit chat
I don't do the
before.
chit chat thing.
Yeah, I would suggest not doing the chit chat other than you can shake hands.
Oh yeah, I'm not impolite. I'm not impolite. I just you know
Yeah,
don't usually talk.
I wouldn't talk because that can get you into that can psych you out in many ways. You'd think after this mini conversation you're better or you're worse, and that's a bad way to start, especially if you've seen their rating and if it's less than yours or larger than yours. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It can really ruin you if you're not a strong player, and I'm not a strong player, so it can ruin me.
Oh,
And
speaking
so,
speaking of the listing, the pairings, I either don't go immediately because there's like this huge rush of people, like it's going to change in 5 minutes. They have to see it first or something. I don't know. The other thing I do is I will just stick my phone in and take a picture, and then I can go walk away and figure it out. It's not that hard. I don't need to spend 10 minutes there. Some people sit up there for like 15 minutes looking at the thing. I'm like, what are you doing?
you know,
Move along. Move along.
this is where I wish it was more like the professionals, where, and I know we have to wait till you people show up, or sign up, anyways. It'd be great if you just had your name. They had a way to just print your name real quick and put it
Yeah.
by the boards.
Yeah.
And then you just look and you find your name and you sit down and you don't know really anything about your opponent. That, if not that, then I wish they would just put the names and not put what they're rated.
I think it just comes out of the USCF software. So
Okay, I don't know.
I don't know. I
So,
don't know either. That's just my guess.
well,
But
because so one tournament was all written out. It was written. It
yeah.
wasn't. Yeah. So that would be for me, anyways. Not for other players; they could care less.
Right.
And so anyway, so you sit down and you might, like I said, shake their hand and or at least introduce yourself, that kind of thing. If you have chit chat, okay. Then tournament director will say, okay, you can start, and then you might shake one quick shake again and say good luck,
Yep.
and then bam, hit the clock, and you're off.
Yep. Black hits the clock and white is on the clock, right?
That's right.
All right. So you're playing your game. What happens if you're like, what are things that are frowned upon at the board? Let's go with that first. Like,
Don't touch your pieces unless you're moving them.
yep. What if your pieces aren't in the square?
You can ask to
I
correct.
think I think you say adjust. I think it is.
Adjust, excuse me.
Yeah.
You can ask
Yeah.
to adjust or just say adjust, and you point to where you're going to adjust, and they'll
Right.
say yes, sure, or not, or whatever.
Try not to do it when the guy's in or the girl's in deep thought, like, middle of the game, something. Don't use it as a, I'm going to use the word strategy, even though that's not really what you're trying to do. That's not cool.
No, and I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it on their move either. I
Nope.
would wait till they moved, and then I say before I moved, may I adjust my piece that
Yeah.
I'm, and so
I
usually
played
people
one
are,
guy, one youth who was a adjustment fiend. I think he adjusted his pieces north of 30 times through the game.
you know,
I was
which
like, dude,
at the end of a game, whether or blitz game, but in a blitz game, and at the end of any game, it can get a little hectic if you're worried about time.
hmm
In some pieces, it's better to stop and say, I didn't get my piece all the way over or whatever, because that can cause a lot of problems if
yep,
you just do it. Like if you move it and you didn't get it all the way there, but it's halfway on either piece, everybody knows where it's going, but still, you should say something and not just grab it and go ahead and push it up again or whatever, because
yeah.
that can cause some problems with
You,
people.
you don't want to have two dark square bishops on the same color.
No,
That's
no, you
unless you had the
don't.
weirdest promotion ever. But
It's true. It's true. True.
okay, so what about food or drink at the table?
I think drinks okay. Food, nobody wants to hear anybody chew or the wrapper opening and closing and opening your Tupperware to eat your sandwich or whatever. I mean,
No
I
Dorito
mean,
covered fingers, right?
no, yeah, no Dorito covered fingers wiping it on the side table. And but also with the drinking, because I've read about this. I haven't seen it. I've read where people will drink, you know, when you're about to move or when you're moving, open your, soda or your water bottle and, kind of thing. You want to be mindful of stuff like that. I think that in chess, you want to be um, not just polite, but you want to be the least distracting to your opponent, because that's the way it should be, I think. And
Yep.
two, it just causes problems that you don't want to have. You don't
Nope.
want you don't want to have to stop play, call a term direct, get all the kind of stuff, or even afterwards be any bad blood kind of thing, because every time um you went to move, I grabbed my water bottle and crinkled the
Yeah.
plastic, especially if it's a squirt water bottle.
Yeah. I always think that, err on the side of conservative. Like,
Yeah,
don't, if you think it could be, then don't. Just
right.
just don't. If you're starving and you got to go eat, like I'm to the point where one of my habits for chess tournaments is I try and, take snacks every now and then. And one of the ones that I usually bring to the game is M&Ms with peanuts. I get a little sugar, I get a little protein. I mean, justify it however you want. But I won't even eat those at the table. I'll get up and I'll go
Yeah.
somewhere else and eat them and come back, you know.
That's the other thing I was going to say. If you need, just it's okay to get up
hmm
and go to the side or whatever. Don't go. I would not leave the room if I was you. That probably is not a good idea, because that can be seen as a little hinky. But you go to your
That's
corner and eat your peanuts or whatever it is,
yeah.
and then go back.
That's another thing we didn't talk about. Phones. What about phones at a
No, no phones.
phones
Phones
off?
phone's off, and I would leave it in your backpack or whatever you have. Oh, that's in the corner of the room, or if there's a place to hang them up, whatever. I would not have it off and in my pocket, I just would not have it near me.
I, a couple
Because,
tournaments I've played, they wanted the phone off and on the table next to the board.
you know,
So
see, I
there's,
wouldn't even, I would just leave it
yeah.
in my backpack and not even think, so I don't even have to think about that.
Yep, it depends. And you can talk to the tournament director on that because of what they prefer. Because the one guy justified it like saying, hey, if I leave my phone off and on the table, if I go to the bathroom, it's one less thing for your opponent to worry about.
That's a good point.
So I don't know. I could see it going either way. What's the deal? I mean, you could have two phones too. I mean, whatever. But
Here's the one thing I haven't mentioned is the clock.
mm-hmm.
One of my bad habits.
Is you don't know
Um,
how to program your clock.
well, that's a deficiency, not a bad habit. It's, but the bad habit is when I finish my move, I'm supposed to hit the clock, but I'll move and I'll write it my move down, and I'm looking there. And if you have a nice, I don't want to say not nice, that's not true. If you have you might have an opponent who'll say clock, and I had to be reminded a few times um, in my first two and only two tournaments so far over
Mm-hmm.
the board to do that. I had one fella who did it, in a seasoned player, and he thought I should know, which he's right, I should.
It's not his
And
responsibility
it's
for
not
you to
his
do it.
responsibility. Yeah, so I'm not mad at, wasn't mad at him or anything like that. Um, but it probably went like 4 minutes. It didn't kill me anyways, but
Yeah.
4.5 minutes. Now I'm looking, I'm like, oh, that's why he's not moving. Bam, hit the clock. And I guess, yeah,
There's
it's
some
not his.
sportsmanship in there.
I think I don't know. I tell this to people a lot that I can't help it that my parents taught me to be, I don't know if it's overly polite, but very polite. Um, and so if I saw that you didn't move, not only would I do that so you're not losing time, but so that I can move. I mean, I don't know if let's say if we made three moves, right? And we just sat there and you're waiting and you think that you're not paying attention to the clock and you think that man, why is he thinking this? And next thing you know, I move when I see that you only have 3 minutes left, right? Or something crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I get you're right. It's not anybody's responsibility but yours. But I mean, come on, man.
Well,
Help a brother out.
I'm kind of in
Unless
the
I mean,
I'm in the middle. I'll tell you the first time always. I'll tell
yeah,
you the second time always.
yeah,
Depending on the person, I
yeah.
may continue to tell you or I may not.
Yeah, I guess like if I was playing someone who hadn't played in 37
That's why I
years,
said depending on the person. If
yeah,
it's
I
somebody
would be
very
like,
young or very old or very new, I'm going to tell you every single time.
yeah,
But if
I,
it's, somebody who knows the way around and, they're just not doing it, I'll tell
yeah,
you a
I
couple
hear
times,
you.
but come on, man.
I hear you. I hear you. I hear
So,
you. I can't object to that.
so it's part of the game. Okay. What
Yeah,
about recording your moves? Because online, you don't record your moves. You don't record your squares. You don't record any of that.
right. You get sheets to record your moves, and you can do that by pen, or if you have I want to forget the name of it, and I have it,
Chess noter.
chest noter, which it's like on this iPad like device.
Hmm.
And it's really great once you get to learn how to use it. You put down what round you're playing, who you're playing, everything about the tournament, and then you put your opponent's name, who's playing what, and then you just use a stylus to put your moves
Or your
in
finger.
or your finger, and it records that, which is terrific. And then you can transport that or transfer that to your computer and stuff later on.
It
The
does the
reason why
time too.
And it does the time, which is great. So you can place that in there if you're interested in that, if that's important. Also, it's not connected to the internet. That's the stipulation that the USCF has, that it's not connected to the internet. So there's no way to cheat with it. It's just putting in your moves.
And there's nothing
and
else
you
on
can
the device is dedicated. There's nothing, there's no browsers, there's no engines, there's
think
nothing on there. It's
nothing.
locked.
Right, just that program, and you can't do it if you wanted to. So it's that's all that's on there, and it's terrific. I'm looking forward when I get to someday play more over the board to use it and to share it with different um, chess um, websites, I guess, to go over my games and things like that. Just makes it easier because if not, you have to transfer it from your paper.
Yes.
Which it's not terrible, but if you have a 56 move game, you know,
It can take a while. And
you
the
take,
time is the big one because you and I are both in a dojo and the time is a big deal. So, recording the time doesn't sound like a lot, but it's one more thing you got to think about. And especially when you're just starting out over the board, you got a lot of stuff to think about.
and first 15 moves, okay, but if you're in the throes of something that's going to be long haul, you're in 35th move. The last thing you're thinking about is the time,
Or a time
as
scramble
far
at
as
the end.
recording it.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, or at the end.
Yeah. So there's a
So, but
rule you
yeah,
don't have to do move recordings. I think it's under 5 minutes
hmm
under there.
right,
But if you don't record the moves, I'm not good enough to remember the game in my
yeah,
head. So whatever I could learn from the post game annotation is lost at this point in my
yeah.
life. So, okay, what else do we have that etiquette wise? Standing up at the table, going for a walk, going to the bathroom, any of those things,
Okay, but don't be distractions. You don't. Nobody needs to go to the bathroom every 15 minutes.
or every move.
Or every move or whatever. That's very suspicious. So it's distracting. And the other thing that I see, I've seen this again. I've only seen one person do the professional, and you probably will know the name, where he stands up and stands behind his opponent's um,
View.
view. Thank
Yeah.
you, Stan. Behind and looks at his point of view of the game. And I think I forget his name, and if you'd remind me, but he was playing against Hans Niemann,
Well,
and Niemann to be, to make it funny, he got up. So is it Nihil? Nihil? Maybe I can't remember who it was.
I don't
And,
remember.
okay, but Hans Niemann got up and went to the other the guy's side of the table to view the game from. They're both kind of like this, and I thought,
I'm not a
wow,
fan.
no, it's weird,
It's like borderline, and to me, it's past the border.
right?
It's not against the rule, but etiquette. We're talking here.
Well, I think there are things in etiquette that that should be part of the rules, and that's one of them. I don't think you
Yeah,
should be able to look over your opponent's shoulder so you can get a better view. Too bad.
I figured out. And the
Yeah,
other
the
one I
view
don't
is
like is when you power pose on the chessboard. You stand
what's
up.
that mean?
Well, you stand up and you put you're like leaning on the board and kind of
Oh,
coming into the space, and it's like
I see. I've
you
not
know
seen that. I've
I'm
not
pretty
seen
sure
that.
the pieces aren't that heavy where you need to get good leverage to move the knight. You know
Welcome to the
that's right.
dojo.
I don't think that's a little gamesmanship more than etiquette, and I'm not a
Yeah.
fan.
Yeah, I don't. I just don't think any of it. People say, "Well, it's not against the rules," or I'm like, "Okay, I get it," but it's not necessary. Let's play the game
Play
as
the
intended.
game,
As intended. It is a
the game of kings.
it is a game of kings. And I think it's okay to be respectful and
Yeah,
and not everything. And plus, there are other venues which we can talk about in a little bit, and other avenues where that kind of gamesmanship is expected.
yeah.
In
Like
certain
the
certain things.
esports ones, they tend to be a
Yeah,
little.
right. Where somebody threw the knight or was Nakamura or whatever
Yeah,
after you won. They're like, yeah,
he
that
was
stuff.
told to.
Right. So, but even if he wasn't, he did. I'd be, that's that kind of venue. That's it's esports,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So, yeah, there's that kind of fun too, and that's okay. That's
yeah.
okay in certain places.
So if you got any questions about etiquette, if you have anything, talk to the tournament director before, during, or after the event. especially if it's you're early and new. And the other thing I'd recommend is if it's your first tournament or your first few tournaments, every time hi, I would say hi, I'm Bill. I don't think you would, but whatever. Uh, I haven't played very much before. If I do something wrong, just let me know. I'm not trying to get any advantage. I just don't know what to do sometimes. So if I do something wrong, please let me know, and I apologize ahead of time.
And you know who else you can ask?
Late to chess@gmail.com.
That's right. Laytochess@gmail.com. Let us know. You got some questions about etiquette. We got some answers. You might
That's
not
right.
like them, but we
We could
got
be
them.
we could be the arbiter of etiquette.
Oh, well, I can, but yeah.
I'm sure we forgot some stuff. You know what? I think if you guys do have any questions, or if we missed something, like, hey, dummies, you forgot to talk about, let us know. We'll do an add-on to a future episode to cover etiquette. There's not a lot there. The one thing I do want to get into though is you and I differ. I say there's different etiquette online than offline, like over the board, because people will write the weirdest junk. And I'm using junk because I'm editing myself and I don't feel like editing our podcast in the chat.
Okay, I'll say this. I'll clarify it. Y- We don't disagree. We just think that I just think it should be the same.
It should be, but
So,
it's
I
not.
mean, I was playing a game, and I will keep it clean. I was playing a game that was a 30-30, and I wasn't moving at a snail's pace or a sloth's pace, and I wasn't a rabbit either. And the guy on the chat wrote, "Come on, N word, let's move." I was flabbergasted. I was like, "What? Did he just write what?" And he wrote it out. And I'm like, am I reading what I'm reading? Is this guy kidding me? I mean, I'm talking, maybe I took a minute and a half.
I can't believe you. You're unrealistic. Unrealistic.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. Or just that kind of stuff is unnecessary.
Yes.
Or even I played a recent game where someone said to me, well, it's time to resign." Like, mind, I'll decide. I mean, he was right, but still, you
Yeah.
know,
That's not what
keep
you
it to
said.
your, yeah, keep it to yourself. That's why, and I don't know why I didn't do it this time. I think I might have changed it by mistake. Online, if you want to avoid that kind of silliness, play on Zen mode. There's no chat, and you don't even know who your opponent's what your
Rating.
opponent's rating is.
Yeah.
And that's a great way to play. I've been playing like that now for months, and it is wonderful. Unless I know the person I'm playing, I play Zen mode. Because I don't want to, because people, and I think Jesse talks about this. Well, we don't concentrate. Well, I concentrate whenever I play, and Zen mode helps me concentrate even more. I don't want to chit chat. Same thing
Right.
on the board. I might, not during the game. I might say, "Hey, I'm Paul. It's good to meet you," whatever, and then shake hand. We start, and then after, if we go to the Skittles room or in the hall or whatever
Yeah.
and talk about the game, that's great too.
You know what you
But
do
I'm not
when Paul says that? You say, "Hi, this is my first tournament. I'm rated 1650 online, but I'm unrated here," and then you'll win the game. It'll be fine.
even after you almost lost it 3 times. But
Yes.
anyways, not me, the other guy.
The other guy. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, so that is one good thing about playing online. If you like to really concentrate, and I don't want to get in a word match or anything like that with someone I'm playing or a rated game with that I don't know, especially if I don't know.
Yeah.
And I'm not good at distractions. That's why I don't mind the OTB, because I mean, it's pretty quiet in there.
It is.
No, you
Yeah.
can concentrate. I think I did. I didn't help my play, but I did.
No, you're good.
Okay. It's good. So that's the only thing I would say. That's the difference on online etiquette, that you can have opinions just like you do anywhere else, but keep them to yourself.
Well, I think you're going with the position that the etiquette online should be the same as over the board.
For
And
rated, for serious, yes, for rated games, serious games.
yes,
I'm not saying about your friends or if you're
yeah, do what
in
you
a,
want.
yeah, whatever, kind of thing. You can figure that out. But I just think that, well, I mean, what as Ron Burgundy would say,
Oh God, he's
nothing.
here again. He's had more guest host appearances than anybody.
As Ron Burgundy would say, nothing good will come of that.
No, no.
Nothing. So why are people? I don't get it. I thought we are here to enjoy the game. You can get mad that you lost, happy that you won, all that kind of. But even in that, I think people. I have it automatically on my lead chest that when I lose, it says "good game, well played."
Hmm.
And if
Yep.
if I win, I type it in myself.
Yep.
So it's you don't have to be happy about losing or anything, but it's okay to be polite.
Yeah. Well, I
You
think
know,
the online gamer etiquette is slightly different than the over the board chess etiquette, and the online
it is,
chess
unfortunately.
is subject to somewhere in between. So that was where I was like, I wasn't saying it should be different. I was saying it just doesn't seem to be the same.
No, it's not. It's not the same. I'm really surprised at the things that are said and people want to talk during games. And
Yeah, trash talk at
I
the
just,
online chess is pretty well over the line.
yeah, I'm like, I don't know. It's like, I'd be more interesting. I'd be like, if I'd be more inclined to be your buddy, like in the Skittles room or something like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
Kind
Skittles
of
room, you can
thing.
have a good time and you can talk trash and whatever, but it's not like
No,
over the board. You're going to sit there and move your piece and then scowl at the other person and got you now.
what do you say now, buddy?
That's
Yeah.
right.
It's just,
Yeah. Why don't you
yeah.
resign?
Yeah, I just like, I just find it, I just personally find it unnecessary and not nice. And
Mm-mm.
I'd like to think that chess is still, it's an old term, so you help me with the new postmodern word, please, but because I want to include everybody. But it's a gentleman's game.
Hmm.
But it's for, I don't mean that sexist. So whatever the better word for that is, it's a game for people.
I mean, I'll translate it for the younger audience. The doctor's a big fan of Patrick Swayze in the movie Roadhouse. You just be nice. And what happens? I'll tell you when not to be nice.
That's right.
That's the doctor.
That's exactly it. I'll tell you, yeah, just be nice, be nice. Such a, I don't know. I think it's a, especially now after COVID, and all these different chess websites. It's a game that really is for everybody. That's a
Should be.
wonderful thing. That's a wonderful thing. That's not always been the case,
Hmm.
and it is. But when that with that comes, some negative stuff because we
Yep.
let go of, some of the nicer things about that I like about chess.
And humans.
Yeah, humans, yeah, every time we get a chance to do something great, we
We have the
become,
ability to mess it up. Yeah.
yeah, even something as simple as, just chess. Like, come
I
on,
know.
it's supposed
I'm
to be
with you.
fun. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're a pro or amateur or whatever. I mean, get to play this game, and it's okay. Like if I decided, well, I want to play goldfish every day, people might be like, really? But here's a game that, you know, it's, oh yeah, chess. Yeah, it's fun. It's great. Yeah, cool. You play that? Yeah, I like that. I like that about it.
It's supposed to be fun,
Oh,
man.
Bill's convinced.
It's
I can't
supposed to
hear
be
Bill.
fun. No, it's supposed to be fun. You can't hear me? Is your internet that bad? My God.
Okay, stop making fun of my internet. All right.
Your internet's terrible. You've frozen 4 times this episode, but that's
I
okay.
can't help it.
I
All
know.
right.
It's Dr. Pop. His internet's techno Amish.
And his understanding is even worse. So
That's right.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
right.
for sure. Sorry, people. I can't. I live in a remote place. I can't help it.
Yes, not all of us can live in a snow globe like you.
That's right. That's right. Wow.
His own
Wow.
private climate.
That's it. Yep.
Very well. So I believe we have messed up chess etiquette for long enough and probably forgot more than we wanted to talk about, but that's okay. We can have another one. We can talk about it some more.
Yeah. Tell us again. Late to chess
He wants to say .com, but it's not. And he's frazzled. Gmail. Say Gmail.
at G. It's late to chess at gmail.com. No, Gmail what? Is it gmail.com? Right.
The pressure.
Okay.
He's got performance anxiety.
I
I think
did.
I think they have pills for this, doctor.
Oh my goodness. It doesn't matter if it's the chessboard, the podcast seat. I'm a mess. Good grief. The pressure. I need some pills. Good grief.
Yeah, look at you,
Oh,
dude. All right. Thank you, sir.
thank you. Bye,
Bye.
everybody.